Hi, this is Mr. Forex, and today we are here to discuss about trading pairs that I'm going to watch over the next week because I think they are moving in certain zones that are interesting in my opinion. So if you want to find out what pairs am I looking at, stay here and we'll see after the intro. So guys, I talked about this pair some videos ago. I know I was absent over the past 2 weeks, and that's because I was very busy doing other stuff, and I wanted to bring you another content today, and so I want to explain why am I still looking at this pair, because we had the retest of the previous important daily resistance, and I was paying very much attention to this place because I think it might be interesting to go long, because we know from this very strong movement to the upside that the trend is now reversing and it's now going upward, and we know that these previous structure zones could play a key role in price action. And so if I narrow down some zones and I just trade in these zones, I am more likely to be successful because I know those are sensitive zones. Basically, what we had here was a double bottom, and I know some of you could trade it by placing a stop order above this previous neckline, but I do not usually trade like this. I either buy the second test, or to see a break of structure, I wait for a 61.8 retracement of that leg, and then I place my limit order at the 618. This is a technique called 2618, and I think that it's very effective when used properly, like in cases like this when we are in the trend's direction. We had some kind of buying signal down here, but we couldn't actually take the trade because price didn't reach a deeper enough retracement so that I can get involved. When I looked at this chart, it was already here and I couldn't make an entry reason. So what I'm waiting is a break of this structure point on the left, and that would give me a much stronger signal of the continuation of the trend. So if this chart break into a new highs, I can wait for a 61.8 retracement and I can go long. Otherwise, if I see another retest and another hold, I can take a long aggressively if I see some kind of candlestick pattern that appears. So these are my two techniques that I'm going to use on this pair in the next week. Also, we can take a look at euro dollar because we are approaching very interesting zone, namely the neckline of the previous head and shoulder that I do not usually trade, but I trade it like a structure pattern. So if I see a break of structure to the downside, I know that could be a reversing trend. So I want to take into consideration that, and I'm now waiting to see price coming back up here. Let's call 117 flat. And that psychological number can also provide me with some greater degree of certainty, because a psychological important level like this could play a major role on the behavior of this chart. But I want to clarify that I'm going to take the trade if and only I see some kind of pattern on the smaller time frames like 4 hour and 1 hour. A double top formation could be a strong enough signal to sell the market, but I want to make sure it is in my zone. I see that probably we could also see on this time frame that there is a very strong structure, and if you take the trade with this mindset, it is actually a good opportunity. But in this kind of bias, I would just take my position down here, and maybe another 1-to-1 risk to reward position as a first target. So I am interested in this kind of formation if something happened here, but the risk to reward ratio in the complex on total would be less appealing for me. Let's say this. So we are in a key zone, we are in a structure zone in the hourly time frame, and if you see market on this time frame, it is actually a nice zone to short the market if we see another confirmation when the market will open. Also, if I see a breakout structure and a false breakout and price coming back instantaneously down here, it would be also a major selling signal. But in order to stay updated on my views, I suggest you to follow me on TradingView. You can find the link below, and I will publish this chart if I see that if I see some kind of entry point, entry level, entry technique. The last pair of today's video will be Aussie New Zealand, because we are in a strong uptrend. We break new highs, these previous highs, and now we are retesting a major structure zone. You can see here and you can see here. Let's bring it here. Also, this whole zone would be interesting. And if we draw a Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, you will see that the 61.8 sits right on the nice spot that I've taken from the daily chart. So 1.10 is what I'm looking at, not here, because I think that at this level, the buying pressure is still not strong. On this zone, on the 1.10 level, also a psychological threshold, I am more confident in taking the trade. So I'm waiting for another break into new lows. Again, if it is a false breakout, then it is much better, because it is a stronger confirmation. If you want to be informed about my trading decisions, you will be updated if you follow me on TradingView. This is all for today. I wish you had a trading week that was profitable, and I wish you another great trading week. See you next week.